Divesting gone wrong. White man did not want a mixed baby, so he ghosted this divestor. Black men do not help her. She chose to be a single mom because, well, black women do not abort mixed-race children. Also, her past history is online. She been getting ran through by various white men. Black men, please do not play stepfather to her mixed-race son. I will let the divestor babble her failed divestorship to you. Take a listen.
Story time!
Our first date is where it all went down. I don't really know how he got a second date from that first date.
I'm smooth like butter.
Because it was...
Smooth as silk.
It was opposite of smooth. It was rough.
First of all, I knew she was already feeling it. Like, we were already for sure connecting and clicking by that point, and drunk, because she was wasted. The music was loud. I barely even heard myself say it, first of all.
I heard him say it. If there's one thing I remember from that night, it's that line. Excuse me, miss. Can I steal a kiss?
And there was much more context going on.
No, there wasn't much more context going on.
She was grinding all about me like a little temptress. And then she backed up against the bar, and I said, can I steal this kiss? Not like that, though. Much smoother.
He said, excuse me, miss.
No, I didn't.
Can I steal this kiss?
I don't even have a southern accent.
So, I have to buy a pregnancy test, and I just didn't know that there were so many different kinds. Like, I don't know which one I need to take. Like, there's literally so many different kinds. But it looks like this one has got 2 in it. Right, so we'll grab one of these. So I ended up picking up the one where you can see how many weeks along you are. I think I'm, like, being paranoid. No, I'm being paranoid. This can't be my life. Alright guys, we're taking a pregnancy test today. And I literally just went and got a cheap one from the dollar store because I really don't think that I am. We're gonna take a test anyways, because for the rare chance that I am. This is like not a regular pregnancy test. You have to like put your pee in this syringe and then drop it on there. And now we wait. This was so spur of the moment to do. I legitimately just went to the dollar store and then drove to my sister's house to do it really quick before I go home. Okay, so it's been like 3 minutes, so I think it's time to check it, but I feel really scared to check it myself. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why. I think I'm gonna get my niece to check it for me. Egypt!
Yeah?
Can you come check this for me?
What are you doing there?
It's a pregnancy test. I don't think I'm pregnant, but I don't know. I feel scared to check it. It's like 1 line. I'm not. 2 lines, obviously.
Well, there's 2 lines here. So.
Wait. Are you that is like clear as day.
I think you're pregnant.
Oh my god. They're not always accurate though. You think I should take another one?
Oh my god.
Story time about how I felt when I found out I was pregnant, knowing damn well I was going to end up being a single mom. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and not about Big Papa's father and solely about me and my emotions throughout my journey. So I have a video on when I found out I was pregnant. I went to Walmart to get some pregnancy tests and I was going to take them after work because I wanted to wait to be on the phone with Big Papa's father as I took the tests so that we could go through it together. I genuinely did not think I was pregnant. At this point, I was only like 3 or 4 days late for my period, but my period is very regular. And like, there were a few things that were going on that were kind of off. Like my pee was very yellow. I was really tired. And at one point I fainted. So I'm like, something weird's going on. So let me just check. Even though I don't think I'm pregnant, let me just check. So obviously the test came back that I was pregnant. And in this situation, I did not know what I wanted to do. So I was thinking about it for a while with Big Papa's father. And I decided initially that I was like, no, we are not ready for this. Like, I know how this is going to play out. No, I need to terminate. But long story short, I went and I got an ultrasound because I thought I had a miscarriage, because I woke up a couple days later and I was bleeding like a lot. Not only was I bleeding a lot, but when I went to the bathroom, I passed like a really big blood clot as well. So I was like, okay, so I guess I lost this baby. So because of this, I went to the doctors to like be like, I don't really know what to do at this point. I'm pretty sure I had a miscarriage. I've never been pregnant before. I didn't even know if I was supposed to go to the doctors. I was just like, did this just happen? And do I leave it alone? I have no idea. I've never been pregnant. So basically the doctors tested my hormone levels on, let's say it was a Friday. And then I had to go back 2 days later, test my hormone levels again, and then come back in a couple days and see if my levels either were rising or falling. At this point, I was like, I had zero faith that I was still pregnant. Like the amount of blood that I passed and that clot, I was like, there's no way I'm still pregnant. But I mean, this is the procedure that we have to take, so we're gonna take this procedure. So about a week after all the bleeding happened, I went back to the doctors and I'm in the office and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I already took my mind out of a place where I was pregnant, because I'm like, there's no possible way that I'm still pregnant. So the doctor comes in at this point and he's talking to me like, okay, so everything looks good. We're gonna arrange for an ultrasound. And he's talking to me like as if I'm still pregnant. So like he was talking to me and I felt like I was not even processing what he was saying. So I had to be like, wait, are you saying that I'm still pregnant? And he's like, oh yes, the hormone levels, they doubled, like everything is normal. And I'm like, wait, what? So after that, I had to immediately go and take an ultrasound where they found out like how far along I was and everything. And I was like, I didn't know how to feel in the moment. Like this was all just so like surreal. And when I went in to get the ultrasound, she showed me the heartbeat and I was like, well, here we are. So if you've ever been in that situation where you are contemplating whether to continue your pregnancy or terminate, and then you go into the ultrasound and you start to see the heartbeat, like that is when things feel like real. Before, I didn't really feel like I was pregnant. It was whatever, but that is when things started to feel real. Meanwhile, I found out I was pregnant I was 3 weeks pregnant when I found out that I was pregnant. So I found out pretty early on. So yeah, there were like not really many signs that I was actually pregnant. So seeing that heartbeat, I was like, okay, there is an actual human growing inside of me. So at that point, I had to have a conversation with Big Papa's father and basically say like, hey, I think that I am like changing my mind about how I feel I want to proceed. Long story short, that did not go over well with him, but that is besides the point. But that is when I decided, I didn't even decide in that moment, that's when I wanted to continue, but that's when I actually started to think about it. And then over the next few weeks, like no joke, I think I didn't make a final decision until like the end of April-ish. I was going back and forth every single day, every single night. It was keeping me up. It was the first thing I thought about in the morning, last thing I thought about when I would go to bed. Like I just kept thinking like, okay, I made up my mind, I'm going to terminate. Or okay, I made up my mind, I'm going to keep the pregnancy. And like, I could not decide. I was back and forth every single day. And the reason I was back and forth had less to do with the fact that like, I was like, I don't want to have a baby, and more to do with the fact that I knew I was going to end up being a single mom if I went through with this pregnancy. So honestly, it was a very, very complicated couple months in the beginning, and it was sad and it was kind of lonely, but I ultimately like one day just had to make the decision for me after having like a few conversations with his father and just kind of seeing, without saying too much, kind of seeing the way that he was like reacting. I realized that this was a decision that I really needed to make for myself and not for anybody else. And of course I have the best family in the world, the best friends in the world. And there were a lot of people there that I was able to open up to and talk to throughout this to like kind of guide me in the right direction. But at the end of the day, this is a decision that only you can make, only I could make. So like, it was ultimately up to me, and it was the hardest thing that I ever experienced in my life. But he is waking up from his nap now, and that is pretty much the story of my emotions and how I felt throughout this pregnancy. And when I found out I was pregnant, it was such a shock, but I can't even imagine my life any other way right now. Like, I feel like he is like my purpose. Like, he's the reason that I'm waking up in the morning. He is my whole entire world. So at the end of the day, I'm so happy I made this decision. And yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Welcome back to another day in the life of a girl that got flued out by her sneaky link. If you guys have not guessed it already, yes, my sneaky link is a professional athlete. Today he had a day game, which is very rare, but we had to be up at 5 a.m. and out of the house, and this is what the Houston, Texas traffic was looking like. It was not a vibe. First, we stopped off to do some prehab, because as an athlete, your body is most important. Did you guys know LeBron James spends $1.5 million on his body every year? Athletes don't play around about their body. That is their moneymaker. Next, he dropped me off at one of my favorite little breakfast spots around the corner from the stadium. I had some time to kill because he always has to go to the field a couple hours early to get ready. This restaurant was so damn cold. I had to order a coffee, a chili, and a hot chocolate. I was literally in there shivering, but plot twist, because the second I stepped outside, I was looking like this. He sent me the car and I got in there and I was already drenched. And this was literally just from the walk from the restaurant to the car. So I had to call up Sneaky Link and ask him to meet me outside with a t-shirt. So he brought me out a t-shirt. I changed into that and I had to sit inside the car and turn the air conditioning on for a little while to cool down. Anyways, I finally made it to my seat and the first thing I had to do was grab an ice cold one. I had to chug one or maybe two or three of those down. And then luckily Sneaky Link snuck and brought me some ice cold waters from the locker room. I appreciate you so much for this. And I had to chug down those waters like it was nobody's business. Like I didn't even care that I was dripping all over me. Like I needed this. Look how much I was sweating just sitting there, guys. Like nobody else around me was sweating. Like these Houston Texans are different. They weren't sweating. Meanwhile, drenched, dripping from my face, shirt wet, all of the above. Like I was struggling out in that heat. I decided to spend the rest of the game in the car and I waited for him to come out of the locker room. And when he finally got there, he came up with this bright idea that we were going to get a pool today. So we got the pool and we got home and we started setting it up right away. It took a while to actually fill the pool. I don't think we really thought about that, but it took about, I don't know, maybe an hour or so to fill it up. In the meantime, your girl was sweating all over again. But the pool was finally set up. We had ourselves a nice little pool day and then we went to bed and watched some Friday Night Lights. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I don't believe her Sneaky Link is an athlete because she is not very attractive. It was most likely some random white man she met online and she flew herself out while her biracial son waits at home with her black family. The white man's family wants nothing to do with their mixed-race grandchild, so she places the burden on her black family so she can go out and continue whoring with gay white men. Anyway, notice how she fully accepted that the white man wanted nothing to do with the child? She won't even ask for child support, but she will beg black people to send her baby gifts and money for her biracial child. As long as the baby has light skin and good hair, he doesn't need to know his father and she won't raise him to hate his father. She is happy being a single mom because she got a magical mixed race baby. Notice how happy divestors are when they get pregnant by a white man versus a black man. When a black woman is pregnant by a black man, she puts the baby through hell in the womb, but when she is pregnant with her mixed-race bastard, she is the happiest person on earth. She will even only eat organic food and make sure she is gentle so nothing goes wrong. Anyway, let me end this long, failed, divestor babble on this note. Black women are the only ones who think it's okay to purposely become single moms. They legit think they can raise male children on their own. Keep watching.
I posted that video on my TikTok about messing around in February, finding out in November, and some lady commented and was like, ladies, stop having babies by men that aren't your husband, or something like that. Do you genuinely feel, okay, because I was triggered, do you genuinely feel like I went into this and I was like, ooh, I'm about to have a baby and I'm about to be single as hell? Do you think that's what happened? You think that's what happened? Because I can assure you it was not. I can't speak for all women, but I can assure you that a lot of women aren't going into this being like, oh, I'm about to have a baby and be single. Love this for me. Okay, so I think we should stop with the single mom shaming, like, ooh, what's wrong with you? You're a single mom. And start with the absent deadbeat father shaming, because what is wrong with you? Why are you absent?
I'm going to be aggressive because nobody wants to hear this, because what you want me to say today is actually being a single mother is totally possible. It actually isn't. It was never meant to happen for the human race, number one. Number two, single biggest determiner of whether a mother is a good mother, what do you think it is? This is going to blow your mind when I tell you the answer. Whether they have a supportive partner. The major argument for good dads is actually, can the dad be there for the mom? Because it's like a direct chain is what we see. What you see is that if you've got a father figure, basically, who's supportive to the mother's energy goes towards the children. But the second that she doesn't have that supportive energy, she collapses, is what happens. And then the kids get starved. And we are not actually supposed to be living in a single-family household, so it's supposed to be a lot more support towards mom than just dad. But I'm going with standard societal structure. You are a victim of a society that was never meant to work this way. I have to mention here again that there's been these studies that are done in terms of what predicts good mothering behavior, and in fact it's the presence of a good father. So regardless of whether or not you would like to believe that females can exist on their own and don't need men, or vice versa. That's not actually the truth in this universe. It is that masculine energy that allows the feminine energy to bloom into this fashion that expresses in these ways that create so much health within society and on the planet.
The white woman destroyed her. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.